All right. Next question here. Mitch from Page, Arizona. Didn't know this is a real place, but apparently it is a real place. Mitch from Page, Arizona asked, "What is the most fascinating tornadoes you have looked into, knowing that you follow the weather or you follow the weather?" So, yes, those of you who don't know who are new here, yes, I'm a meteorology fan. I didn't get a degree in meteorology. I got my degree in public relations, but I am a fan of meteorology. I am fascinated by atmospheric science, and with what comes with that is, of course, following severe weather, hurricanes, snow, tornadoes, obviously. So the question that's being asked here is, what is the most fascinating tornadoes you've looked into? There's quite a few off the top of my head here. The first one is actually not a recent one. It's all the way back in the 90s. Actually, two of them. The first one is the Andover, Kansas tornado of April 26, 1991. Probably the most interesting tornado because it's definitely well documented for being in the 90s. Of course, this whole event happened, of course, I believe it was on Good Friday back in 1996, which is around Easter weekend. Massive tornado outbreak in the Central Plains, probably the most notable one in the modern era. I know there was a few happened, or there's been multiple since then, but this is definitely one of the more historic ones. This was an F5 tornado. This is before they did the EF rating, if they changed it over in early 2000s. But this is an F5 that went through South Wichita, went through went near an Air Force Base, McConnell Air Force Base. That's where the famous footage of the tornado as it was, expanding and getting larger and strengthening. As it's, I think, pretty sure if you're a weather nut, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I mean, and this is a well documented tornado. There's a lot of footage of it. A lot of folks died from it, of course, and that's one that a lot of folks in the weather community are still fascinated by. Just how it went from a very small rib tornado to all of a sudden becoming a half-mile wide within about 30 minutes, 15 minutes or so. So that one's fascinating to me. Gerald, Texas in 1997, I believe, or 1995. Don't quite remember the date per se, but it did happen in either May or June. Fascinating for a lot of reasons. Not only is it a tornado where it's moving from the north to the south, the opposite direction. If you would imagine a tornado going, usually it's southwest to northeast. It's the opposite, northeast to southeast, or from the northeast moving southwest. Not really going to get into the meteorology as to why that happened, but you can look it up. But the other reason why that tornado is so fascinating is that, well, that Gerald tornado isn't at 5, and it killed over, I think, well over 10 people. I think it definitely killed over 10 folks. A lot of folks did pass away because of it. You had the one neighborhood, I think it's called like Double Creek Estates or something like that, and Gerald that was completely wiped out. But there's a lot of debate as to why or whether or not it was actually an F5. Because some folks will say, look, based on the damage and all the homes being completely swept off their foundation, that would constitute it being an F5. Now, the folks from the engineering and housing construction side of things, they have also said, well, is it really an F5? Because it was moving so slow. And also, those homes that destroyed were not really well-built homes. They were built in like the 1950s, okay? So they weren't really like newly constructed homes. So that there was a bit of dispute there in terms of how strong that tornado really. Yes, it was definitely damaging and violent. A lot of folks did die, but the actual rating of it being an F5 has been definitely disputed. Another one off the top of my head is the Greensburg tornado in 07 on May 4th, Star Wars Day. I wasn't really into weather back then. I think it was around the year after is when I really started to get into it. But I do remember hearing of this. Of course, Greensburg, very small town in Kansas, not far away from Wichita. It's like near like that in Dodge City, kind of in between, or not far from those places. It's in southern Kansas. But that day, it was actually a day before a day, which was supposed to be a higher risk day, which is like the highest level of risk category that the Storm Prediction Center uses. But it was a day before a major severe weather event that was being forecasted, and that tornado destroyed the entire town of Greensburg. Like the town was literally wiped out. Like 95% of that town just was not there. And it happened at night, so obviously you couldn't see it. There's still photos of it when like lightning illuminates it and you can see it. But I mean that thing was massive too. And I know, yes, it's at night, so it is hard to see, but just even the images at night, I mean it like just huge, and you can barely. It doesn't even look like an actual tornado. It just looks like a big old cloud. So yeah, that one's definitely fascinating just because it just wiped out the entire town. Just both fascinating and also depressing because a lot of folks did lose their lives, and lost their homes. Another one is, I believe, in Columbus, Nebraska. And I believe it was either like it was in the 90s. I don't remember the date specifically, but I believe it was in June. That was also very fascinating too, because that tornado, if you look it up on YouTube, was so big and so like the mesocyclone, the rotating part of the storm, literally like reached the entire ground. Like literally the wall cloud where tornadoes usually originate from was basically on the ground. It was like super large, well over a mile wide. Yeah, there is a video on YouTube. Just look up Columbus, Nebraska tornado, and it should be the first one that pops up. Just like the whole life cycle of it being this mile wide wedge to all of a sudden dissipating over this guy's house. That's fascinating. And then there's, of course, other ones recently, like the Moore tornado in 2013, up until last year, the last EF5 rated tornado in the United States. You also had the, ironically, I believe a week or two later, the El Reno tornado that ended up killing the Twistex storm chasing crew. Tim Samaras and his people passed away during that. Mike Bettis at the Weather Channel almost died. His vehicle got caught up in that. So, yeah, tornadoes, there's a whole lot of them. You can go, I can keep on going forever, but I mean, there's normal tornadoes, like I just mentioned. There's also water spouts, too. The Great Miami tornado in 1998 or 1997, that was a water spout. The damage in the city of Miami, that's also very fascinating. There's the, I believe, the Myrtle Beach tornado. That was a tornadic water spout, but it's mostly over land. And you can look it up on photos online on Google, and there's videos on YouTube, too, where it's like, it's almost looks like the photos and the footage you see, that it looks like it's not even real. It looks like it's like AI generated or like a Photoshop. And no, it's a real tornado, and it was literally on the beach. It wasn't really even a water spout. It's just a tornadic, or it was really just a tornado on the beach. It was not, again, a water spout. Didn't really go over the water at all. It just stayed on the beach there in Myrtle Beach. It happened in July of 2001, I believe. So yeah, a lot of fascinating tornadoes I can go over. I can literally go for hours talking about it. But no, I did not actually get a meteorology degree. I literally did not. But I'm just very fascinated with the weather. I mean, I'm one of those people that has like all of the weather radar apps, like Radar Omega, WeatherWise, RadarScope. So I'm definitely sunk into it. And even though I'm not actually a meteorology major, but yeah, thank you, Mitch, there for that question.